We would probably have to cut back on our human services budget.
How so? Specific, because the question was specific as to non-personnel. What would you cut?
Right, so our human services budget is about $2.6 million. We spend $25 per person in supportive services for our community members, and we'd have to reduce that.
Mr. Nixon?
Yeah, it's a really tough question that would take careful study. And the reason is that labor, personnel, is an overwhelming majority, like 75% or more of the city budget. And so if you put that off the table and say, no, you have to cut things that are not staff, it's scattered all over. Even the human services budget is, well, $2.6 million out of a $1 billion budget is not really that much, right? And so I think it would take careful study, and we would go back to the zero-based budgeting idea. Thank you.
Mr. Jim Chisholm?
Really steering away from third-party consultants. I mean, we've heard this over and over from multiple people, and throughout my time on the Planning Commission, I've seen third-party consultants do a study on whether or not we should close the 17 parking spaces on Park Lane. I've seen third-party consultants tasked with forming opinions that I think the city wanted to have a third-party consultant and say, hey, look, a third-party consultant is telling us to do this, not our idea. And so that concerns me, and it concerns me when anywhere from $75,000 to $150,000 is used for a third-party consultant to develop a plan for Park Lane that could have come from the business owners on Park Lane or from the residents that use Park Lane. And being more fiscally responsible and frugal will just, a culture of frugalness will lead to a reduction in third-party consultants.
And Mr. Turk?
So if we're taking, as Toby said, staff off the table and consultants off the table, it makes it an incredibly hard decision, because I know that a budgeting process as a business owner myself is an incredibly difficult one. But here's an interesting one that I always like to look at first, and I'll give you an example. The Bellevue Arts Museum, when we went through a recent financial trouble, we took it all the way down to supplies. Who is our supply vendors? Where are we getting our paper? Where are we getting our pens? Where are we getting our printer ink? And we actually saved $86,000 a year just by switching on supplier, just as an example. Thank you.
All right, since we talked about one end of the ledger, let's talk about the other end of the ledger. We talked about the money that's going out. What about the money that's coming in? Specifically when it comes to Proposition 1. Now, there seems to be a lot of energy surrounding not so much the elements included in this proposition, but so much how the city has chosen to present the funding. Proposition 1 is a tax in perpetuity versus being funded by a city-issued bond or other options. Given the concern surrounding affordable housing, tax increases, and others, is adding $280 per $1 million in assessed property value a reasonable ask of Kirkland residents? Since this is a yes or no question, we'll just make it a quick 30 seconds, and we'll just start from here down the line. Mr. Turek.
I've been very vocal on Prop 1. I am voting no for Prop 1.
Didn't even need the 15 seconds.
Did not.
Mr. Tim Chippen.
I believe that good government can improve the lives of people. I'm voting yes on Prop 1.
Okay. Mr. Nixon.
Thanks. Well, I was the one council member who voted against putting Prop 1 on the ballot, and I will vote against it in November as well. Even though I think we need an aquatic center, I don't think the timing is right. And I also want to say, I voted against spending any money on consultants for Park Lane.
Ms. Curtis.
I will vote yes on Prop 1. This was an initiative that brought to the community. We are not serving our community members. We have over 10,000 kids on wait lists for swim lessons. Swim lessons save lives. We owe a lot to our community members for preserving our waterfront park space, and this is an opportunity to do a legacy project for the city.
And Ms. Mallon.
Evergreen Hospital is going to be asking for a bond next year. I will be voting no on Prop 1. It doesn't make sense to raise taxes to build a swimming pool when we're going to be needing to raise taxes to add additional facilities and beds to our community hospital.
Well, that will do it for the direct questioning. So that brings us to the closing statements. Again, 3 minutes for each candidate for your closing statements, and we will go in reverse order that we did opening statements. So, Mr. Turek, you're first.
I've been headlining all night tonight, so thank you. I'm Ryan James. I'm going for position 6. As many of you have heard, you guys are our closing forum. We have been doing this in the community now for several months, and I want to say I feel like we're ending on a very high note. Your questions were very well thought out and very challenging, and it was a really wonderful opportunity to get to share my answers with you. If you would like to learn more about me, I do invite you to go to electryanjames.com. That is my campaign website. And tonight, I just want to thank you again, and I do ask for your vote coming in November. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Tim Chisholm, 3 minutes.
Thank you. As I've told you, I'm a Kirkland Planning Commissioner, veteran, husband, and father of 3. I'm going to be raising my kids in Houghton for the next, God, how long is it going to be? 15 years until the year 2038, when my youngest graduates from high school. I'll be here. I will see you in Met Market. I'll see you at the drop-off pickup line of Lakeview Elementary. And I'll have to look you in the eye, and when you ask me questions about what's going on with your city government, I will look you in the eye, I will know your name, and I will tell you what's going on in your city government. I will be an advocate for Houghton as well as an advocate for Kirkland. I will work to improve the 85th Street Station Area Plan, to have reasonable building heights and robust infrastructure, including better parks, better schools, and better road and parking infrastructure. I will work to preserve the 40% tree canopy we have in Kirkland. It's something that makes us unique and something that is outstanding and higher and better than our surrounding neighbors. And I'll work on efforts to increase affordable housing. The Station Area Plan gives us an opportunity to bring online hundreds or possibly thousands of units of affordable housing and market rate housing that can house our teachers, firefighters, police officers, restaurant workers, and other people that have basically been excluded from Kirkland and have to commute here. If elected, I will be transparent in my actions and inclusive in my leadership. And I've been clear throughout this entire candidate forum that I think the key to inclusive leadership is including our 14 neighborhood associations, our Kirkland Association of Neighborhoods, and strengthening this neighborhood association as well as other neighborhood associations as well. I invite you to go to my website, www.johnt4kirkland.com, and take a look at the endorsements I have. Some endorsements I'm proud of is the Lake Washington Education Association, which is your Kirkland teachers, the Transit Riders Union, Washington Bikes, Attorney General Bob Ferguson, Senator Kutterer, Senator Dingra, Representative and former Mayor Amy Wallen, Deb Eddy, and the chair and the majority of my planning commission is an endorsement that I'm very proud of, because I've spent this last 6 years working with the City of Kirkland Planning Commission, and the majority of them in the chair have endorsed me. And they've endorsed me because I can work collaboratively with other people to get things done. I'm asking for your vote. I appreciate your time. I'll see you at Met Market or in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Toby Nixon, 3 minutes.
Well, thank you very much, and again, thank you for being here tonight. This is like a key important function, is to learn about the candidates. I want to tell you that I love serving on our city council. It can be hard to serve on the city council. The fact is that people in our community hold every possible opinion on every possible issue. And any choice you make, somebody's going to be upset at you. But I love helping people. I love helping people navigate the bureaucracy. I love teaching people how to get things done in the city. And I love being an advocate for people who are having challenges to help them accomplish the things they want to accomplish with the city. I love learning new things. It's incredible how much you learn as a city council member. I don't think I ever expected to know as much about sewage as I do. But I love working together with the other members of the council collaboratively to find solutions to the problems that face us. To work together with respect and civility to achieve the greatest good for the greatest number of people. I want to conclude by thanking John. Both of us have conducted this campaign in the frame of mind of running for the office, not against each other. And I think in this day and age, that's actually kind of a rare thing at times. Yeah. And I hope that you will also take the opportunity to look at my website, tobynixon.com, and see what I stand for. And I have held these same principles in every office that I have ever served in. And you can count on me to be consistent to those principles. 3-4 years from now, when we're dealing with an issue that none of us anticipated, if you vote based on the principles that your council members say they hold, then you'll know that you have the best chance of having them do the right thing from your perspective. Thank you very much.
To position 2, Kelly Kurtz.
Thank you. So I also would like to recognize my fellow candidates. It is not easy running for office. This is our last forum. We have been at this since March. We're tired, but we love this work and we're looking forward to serving you. I want to thank everyone for this conversation tonight. This was a very well-run forum with very good questions. It is an honor to serve you as a council member, and I take this job very seriously. As my neighbor who happens to be in the audience knows, I'm never available to go for a hike because there's always another document to read, another email to answer. And as Councilmember Nixon said, my very first meeting we talked about street cuts. Does anybody know what a street cut is? It's when your sewer line goes through the street. So what we do impacts your day-to-day lives. And while we're doing that work, we're also thinking about your future and the future of your children and how we want to lift up everyone in the city of Kirkland so that everyone can thrive. I'm honored to do this work. I have broad support from the community members and state and local officials, but I'm most proud of the people that live in this city that say, I am their leader, I am experienced, I'm proven, I'm pragmatic, and I look forward to serving you for another 4 years. I ask for your vote.
Finally, Ms. Malley.
I would also like to thank everyone, all the other candidates, and also the Houghton Neighborhood Association for putting this on. And also thanks everybody for coming here tonight on my birthday. I have a very diverse career in healthcare, which has left me with the capability to be very effective in many different arenas. I'm effective at finance, I'm effective at operations, and I'm also really good at creating systems for outcomes to achieve the outcome that's desired. I'm running because I think that government needs to be transparent, public safety is important, and financial accountability is important. And to learn more about me, you can check out my website, which is katieforkirkland.com, and I hope I earned your vote tonight.
And finally, just a quick thought from me before we wrap things up. It's really quite something. Every 4 years, or actually every 2 years, we get to overthrow the government. But we do it at the ballot box. And before you do that, you have to register to vote. 3 weeks from tomorrow is our election night. It's really quite something about the first Tuesday following the first Monday every November. Pulling that lever or punching that card or filling in, as we do in this state, the little oval. Nothing could be nearly as important. And by coming out tonight, it shows that you are engaged in the political process, and as I said at the beginning, decisions are made by those who show up. Special thank you to Zach Wildfang, our sound engineer for the night, and a special thank you and a round of applause for all of our candidates. We will be around to meet you and shake hands once we have concluded. Again, register to vote. Vote. I'm Jeff Pogela. Thank you so much.
On behalf of everyone at the Houghton Neighborhood Association, thank you to all of our candidates. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you to Jeff, thank you to Zach, and to Gary Greenberg, who couldn't be here this evening, and to all of you for coming out. Get home safely, and remember to vote, share with everyone what you've learned tonight, and vote, vote, vote. Thank you so much. Good night.